Welcome back, everyone. I'm Brandon Christopher King. It's a pleasure to have you with us again. In our previous episodes, we've been learning about the art of learning flow and its synergy with AI, especially the pivotal role of curiosity. As we already discussed, curiosity is like the spark that ignites the flame of knowledge. But once that flame is kindled, how do we ensure it grows into a roaring fire? The answer, as age-old as human civilization itself, is learning by doing.
The age-old adage, tell me and I forget, teach me and I may remember, involve me and I learn. This wisdom, often attributed to Benjamin Franklin, emphasizes the lasting impact of hands-on experience. And today, in this episode, we'll get into that very concept.
That's right. We'll be talking about experiential learning, not just understanding its foundational importance, but also appreciating its complexities, especially in our rapidly evolving digital era. The world of AI and human learning aren't as separate as many might think, and the principle of learning by doing bridges them beautifully.
We're not just talking about acquiring a new skill or mastering a hobby, though that's certainly a part of it. At its core, learning by doing challenges the very ways we've been conditioned to perceive education. It's about active engagement, making mistakes, reflecting, adapting, and above all, growing.
And in today's world, where AI has the potential to redefine industries and personal experiences, understanding and applying this principle might just be the key to staying ahead of the curve. So, without further ado, let's explore the world of learning by doing.
Get ready to roll up your sleeves, everyone. Today we get deep into action and understanding. Let's begin. The philosophical roots of experiential learning. When we speak of learning by doing, we aren't introducing a newfangled concept birthed in the age of digital wonders. No, its roots go deep into our philosophical and educational history. A brief historical look at notable figures. Let's go back in time to the cobblestone streets of ancient Greece. Here, the philosopher Aristotle once said, "For the things we have to learn before we can do them, we learn by doing them." This understanding of human nature emphasizes that true knowledge, wisdom even, emerges from lived experiences. Fast forward to more recent times, and we encountered John Dewey, an American philosopher and educator. Dewey believed that education wasn't just about stuffing information into young minds. Instead, he argued for an active, participatory approach to learning, emphasizing experience as the very foundation of education. And then there's David Kolb, whose theory of experiential learning in the late 20th century gave educators a structured framework. Kolb emphasized the cyclical nature of learning, starting with concrete experience, followed by reflective observation, abstract conceptualization, and active experimentation. Over the millennia, the idea of learning by doing has only grown richer. From the eloquent speeches of Aristotle in the ancient Greek agoras to the modern classrooms equipped with AR and VR, the emphasis on experiential learning has never waned. With each era, this concept has been adapted, molded to fit the unique challenges and opportunities of the times. Today, as we stand at the intersection of human intellect and artificial intelligence, learning by doing takes on even more significance, blending the wisdom of the past with the potential of the future. As we get into this episode, let's keep this history in mind. Experiential learning isn't just a method, it's a legacy, a testament to humanity's timeless quest for knowledge and growth. How the concept has evolved over time. As we've seen, the principles of experiential learning have resonated throughout our history. But how has this idea matured over the epochs, especially when pitted against the rapidly changing landscapes of technology and education? In the medieval ages, for instance, guilds and apprenticeships were the epitome of learning by doing. Artisans and craftsmen would pass on their skills not through books or lectures, but through hands-on tasks, observation, and feedback. Transitioning to the Renaissance, we find the establishment of institutions that integrated theory with practice. The workshops of Leonardo da Vinci or Michelangelo weren't just about creating art. They were hubs of hands-on learning, where every brushstroke, every chisel mark was an education in itself. Come the Industrial Revolution, and we faced a pivotal shift. The rise of factories necessitated streamlined training. While experiential learning continued, it became more structured, more industrialized, if you will. Think assembly lines, specialized tasks, and the need for precision. In the 21st century, the digital revolution brought with it new tools and platforms. Online courses, simulations, virtual reality, they've expanded the horizons of experiential learning. Here, doing could mean coding a program, designing a 3D model, or navigating a virtual environment. Today, with the emergence of AI, we're at yet another turning point. How can learning by doing synergize with artificial intelligence? What are the new dimensions of experiential learning in an AI-driven world? As we progress, we'll explore these intersections, appreciating how this ancient philosophy continues to mold our modern narratives. The mechanics of learning by doing. Experience leads to reflect, leads to conceptualize, leads to apply. Picture this. Imagine someone touching a hot stove. That immediate sensation of pain, the rapid withdrawal of their hand, and the subsequent understanding that the stove is hot and shouldn't be touched. That is experiential learning in its most basic form. Let's break this down step by step, using our outlined cycle. First, there's the experience itself. This is our direct interaction with the world, where we gather raw data from our surroundings. In our stove example, the person's initial contact with the hot surface provides this experiential data. Next comes reflection. This is when we process our experience, think about it, and form impressions. The person might think, "That hurt. Why did that happen?" This is the moment they start to make sense of their experience. From reflection, we move on to conceptualization. Here, we develop insights or theories based on our reflections. The person might come to understand the basic concept. Stoves can be hot, and hot things can burn. Finally, there's application, taking what we've learned and using it in new situations. The next time the person encounters a stove or any other potentially hot object, they'll likely be cautious. They've learned from their experience and are now applying that knowledge. This cyclical process isn't just for person learning basic life lessons. It's the very fabric that underpins how we, as adults, gain insights from our interactions with the world. Be it in a professional setting, mastering a new skill, or even in our personal relationships. The undeniable benefits. Experiential learning isn't just effective, it's transformative. Let's touch upon some of its standout benefits. When you do, you remember. Active participation in a learning process ensures that knowledge sticks. It's the difference between reading about riding a bike and actually getting on one. Experiences provide context, making the learned skill or knowledge directly applicable in real-world scenarios. If you've ever practiced a presentation multiple times before the actual event, you've harnessed the power of experiential learning to ensure your performance is top-notch. By engaging with challenges firsthand, we develop a knack for finding solutions. It's like navigating a maze. The more you tackle them, the better you get at spotting the quickest routes. From the immediate sensations we feel as curious toddlers to the sophisticated skills we hone as adults, the mechanics of learning by doing shape our understanding and growth every step of the way. As we explore further, we'll see how these mechanics intersect with modern technologies and methodologies.
You know, Bella, as we wrap up today's episode on experiential learning, I'm reminded of how this applies to my experience in drag racing. In bracket racing, you can't just rely on a fast car, you need a consistent one. It's a world where knowledge and application go hand in hand.
Oh, that's an interesting comparison, Brandon.
Absolutely. Just think about it. When you're prepping for a race, every tweak to the engine, every adjustment to the tires is based on what you've learned from previous races. But you don't just learn and stop there, you apply it. Those first test runs after adjustments, that's where you gauge the effect of your applied knowledge. Each race thereafter tests the theories you've built on what makes the car consistent.
And it's not just about that single race, is it?
No, it's not. Racing, much like experiential learning, is iterative. Every race provides data. Every bit of feedback refines our strategy for the next. It's not just about that eureka moment. Instead, it's about the accumulation of many smaller insights that can lead to big successes on the track.
That's so true, Brandon. It's about piecing together all those insights, applying them, refining them, and then doing it all over again, just as we do in learning.
Precisely. And what's crucial to remember is that our understanding, like a race car, isn't static. We don't reach a final version of it. We keep refining, keep tuning, and keep improving. And that's the magic of learning by doing. It's this dynamic dance between knowledge and application.
So, to all our listeners, as we sign off from this episode, let's remember to not just learn, but to actively engage with what we've learned, to test it, refine it, and use it to propel us forward.
Right on, Bella. Keep those engines revving and your learning active. Give us a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button. Each subscription adds a little more to our channel and helps us keep the content flowing and evolving. Until next time, stay curious and keep racing towards excellence.
That was awesome.